Bam.
Welcome to the Talkies.
Yeah, and this episode is brought to you by Guayaki brand yerba mate.
Can we say that? They wrote a cease and desist letter.
Don't tell them we said it. They won't know. They don't watch.
All right,
They
fine.
don't watch.
Anyway.
We're sponsored.
Dun 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 dun.
Today we saw James Bond. Mission Impossible Fallout. Number 7 in the series.
Six.
7 minus 1. You didn't let me finish.
Yeah.
Oh, good joke.
So it is the American James Bond though.
It is.
Does he? Now I feel like James Bond has a sex scene in every James Bond movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes
pretty much.
multiple, right?
Yeah.
That's not a Mission Impossible thing.
No,
No.
not really. They don't even really have like
Romance. Very
yeah,
much.
Ethan.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Like
He's kind of like a
girls
robot.
or whatever.
There's just no time for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's all straight up, and it's all
Straight up.
adrenaline and
Straight up action.
and Ethan also often has struggles with what he does.
This movie was good.
It was okay.
I loved it.
I loved this movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I really, really liked it.
I'm a big fan of the Mission Impossible series in general, actually. I really like most of the movies. I'd even consider Ghost Protocol one of the best action movies of the 21st century.
Wow.
I'd go that far.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many centuries have you been watching movies?
Many centuries.
Does that mean it's the best action film you've ever seen?
No.
There's a better one from the previous century.
Die Hard. Bam.
Die Hard. Yeah, that was made in 1800s.
That's one with like Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
This giant zoetrope. Yippee-ki-yay. Anyway,
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the. This is my first time seeing one after the first one.
same here. I watched the first Mission Impossible. I started watching the second one and said, this isn't very good. So I never finished it. And then I was just sort of turned off of the rest of the franchise. This is my return to the franchise, and it was an enjoyable one.
Yeah. You seem underwhelmed because I freaking loved everything about this.
I am underwhelmed. Every action sequence of this movie was great, like expertly executed. Did some things I've never seen before. Found great ways to take, very tropey, ultimately every action sequence is like something you've seen before,
Yeah.
but you try to find ways to make it
fresh.
one step further.
Got to do something different because, if
That
it's not
bit-
different.
That bit when they were hanging
not
off the edge of the cliff with that tow cable, and at first it was two wrecked helicopters on top of each other, and he has to like fall through one and into the other, and then they fall like around them.
Yeah.
And they hang on to the cable, which are both. That's combining a scene from Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 2 into one scene, and but they did it so much better. It was rad. Every chase scene was great. I just felt like it was more of a sideshow of action scenes than a movie. That's all. Like I just didn't feel like anything was really happening other than lots of.
Other than
It
everything
was like
that was
seeing.
happening.
It was like seeing a stunt show at Universal Studios or something.
Yeah, no, it
that's
was
kind of
definitely
what I
that.
felt like.
It was definitely that. I guess as far as story goes, right? I mean, it's a pretty simple story,
Yeah.
as with our most action movies. But I mean, like you said before, we walked out the theater and every action was motivated.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it didn't have any real plot holes or anything. So I mean, it was well made. I really liked Henry Cavill's character. I thought just like the brutality of that character was just, whether he was a good guy or bad guy, he was like very threatening.
Yeah.
In fact, I kind of would have liked to have seen a movie where him and Tom Cruise stayed teamed up,
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
go do some mission together. They've made quite a duo of Cruise being more like the moral conscious and
Right.
being the unstoppable force.
I really bought him as like a really tough character. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought he was very intimidating and scary.
I thought it was interesting how he kind of sucked at his job in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like he was just being like kind of a jerk, and then he went unconscious and he kept ruining everything during that first mission. Like
when he landed, that was just great. When he
Yeah.
lands and he's like, looks like someone lost their oxygen.
Yeah, but like
I'm like, what?
he's like ruining every little aspect of this mission, but still acting like he's like the guy who's like behind it all and doing all this cool stuff. It's awesome. Yeah, I love that their chemistry was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
They
The
didn't
whole
have a,
movie's very well cast.
Yeah.
Like every, like an action movie, I think sinks or swims on its cast, because there tends to be so little opportunity for like really showing your acting chops. I mean, it's just motion, action. But if you put in actors who can sneak in the subtlety stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's what puts it over the top and makes such a big difference. And that's why, like, Justice League sucked. Because none of those guys could do, like, subtlety, you know?
yeah.
Whereas this cast, you know, whenever we had a breathing moment in between action scenes, it was like these guys, Simon Pegg and even Alec Baldwin, was just awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of the guy that played the terrorist. Boy,
He was also really good too.
great creepy guy. Sean Harris is
Yeah.
his name. He gives you the creeps.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So I bought into that. I like that.
Yeah, this movie hinges a lot on the previous film, the
Right.
Rogue Nation, which they don't typically do that. It's typically a little bit more serialized, but this time they're taking a lot of the characters' relationships from the previous one, and actually, it kind of feels like the previous one. I didn't like the last one that much. It was just kind of going through the motions, like the same old stuff, nothing that crazy or anything. But now it feels more like a setup to an amazing movie. Like the previous one is all like first act setting up stuff, and then this is all delivering on a
See
bunch
how
of
a
these
sequel
character
can redeem a
relationships.
previous movie
Yeah.
or ruin the previous movie?
Yeah, it's really interesting how that can happen.
Yeah.
And I was actually really surprised because I think his name is Ralph McQuarrie, who
It's
directed.
the director,
yeah,
yeah.
this and the last one. He really stepped up his game in terms of directing and writing.
Sorry, it's Christopher McCurry.
Christopher McCurry. The direction and the actions, like just the action scenes, were so much better in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Like way better.
The action scenes, the only thing I could keep thinking about while watching them was like these are expertly crafted.
Yeah.
Like
Some of the best I've seen.
Yeah, it's
Without
so
a doubt.
Yeah.
exhilarating.
yeah. Really insane. I really, really like that there's like no soundtrack in a lot of the stuff that's happening.
Yeah, like the bathroom scene.
The helicopter scene,
Yeah.
the bathroom scene.
Yeah.
Both of those, there's just no
It's
music
just the
whatsoever.
sounds of
yeah.
the punching and glass breaking
Or
and stuff.
even the chase with the motorcycle. Well,
Yeah.
all you hear is the traffic.
Yeah.
How weird was it to you guys to see opening credits that foreshadowed what we were about to see in the movie?
I felt like that was
It showed
tropey.
clips from what was coming up in the movie.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, is this the trailer for the movie I'm about to watch?
Yeah, yeah.
That was
That's
weird.
That's
seen it
done
before.
in the other movies.
I'm guessing that's probably an homage to the TV show.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the movies do that. The
Yeah.
other ones
I
do
thought that
that.
was really strange.
It is kind of strange, yeah. But it's
Not,
just
yeah, not a lot of movies do it.
That being
Yeah.
said, the trailer showed pieces of all the biggest moments of this movie, and yet didn't spoil anything because it was completely misleading.
yeah.
yeah.
Like that trailer fooled me in several ways. One, the fight in the bathroom in the trailer is cut to look like it's Tom Cruise fighting with Henry Cavill's character.
Right.
So when they walked into that bathroom, they walked in as allies, and I was like, what's going to happen in the next 30 seconds to make them start beating on each other.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
The other sort of fake was in the trailer they cut together footage from two different sequences.
Yeah.
One is him holding the joystick on the helicopter, like we're seeing him steer it and it's out of control. And then we cut to footage of the camera zooming in on a truck across the road.
Did that ever happen in this movie? The truck?
That shot didn't happen, but the truck did. So it's the truck that turns and blocks the road.
Flips over.
But in the trailer, we have a shot. It's like a drone footage going right at it real fast.
Yeah.
And that it was that truck, but they didn't use that shot.
Because that was the most exciting shot in the trailer for me. I was really disappointed.
Yeah, because you're like, he's gonna crash a helicopter into a truck, and then
I didn't know it was a helicopter. I thought he was driving another truck.
had a joystick. Anyway, they did a really good head fake with the trailer footage.
Yeah, I really like that because it gives you the feel of the movie without ruining anything.
Yeah, exactly. This one's a little bit different from the other ones in the sense that the other films feel like they take place over the span of like weeks, and this one feels like it takes place over the span of like 3 days or something like that. And it was a lot faster paced, and there was less breathing room in between action scenes than any of the other ones. It was just like so fast.
A problem that I often see with films like this is they spoil their best action scene maybe in the second act, and you end up, instead of building momentum, you kind of lose momentum. Whereas in this one, it seemed like every action scene added.
Yeah.
You know,
What
really did.
What I didn't like, what we talked about before, the roller coaster of engagement, where you go ups and downs and ups and downs. I feel like this one was going just up, and then every now and then it would just slam down to the bottom to just go zero engagement because we're going to the characters just talking about other things that had happened before, and I'm just like, this is boring. Like,
Yeah.
like and not in comparison to the rest of the movie. The rest of the movie is like freaking actiony, like very, very high adrenaline. But it's not just in comparison. It's just because when they cut to these scenes, there's nothing to grab the audience's attention. There's never a thing that we're going, okay, what's going to happen next? The reason why James Bond, I think, is always so interesting in that way is because every time that James is talking with someone, you know he knows something that someone else doesn't, and so you're always like hanging onto the edge of your seat going, what's going to happen next? So that's why those ones feel good. So these ones, like, it was like a lot of action, slam.
Yeah.
Bunch of action, slam.
Yeah, some of the downtime felt a little bit obligatory.
Yeah.
Like almost like because
now we need to give him a breath.
yeah, it's the thing you got to do. You got to give them the audience a breath, but the breath was not. Well, they wouldn't hang around for too long, and it wouldn't really develop any story too much. Like they would almost like the breaths were for expositions of setting up the next set piece.
Right.
Right. And then a lot of the story developments happen during action scenes where people are like, oh, wait,
Yeah.
he's with this person, they're with that person,
Yeah.
double cross.
I really liked that a lot.
Yeah, which I like that as well.
Yeah.
They could have handled that transition a little better, like you were saying, pretty
Yeah.
much. It does drop off pretty hard some of the times.
Did the Wolf Blitzer fake, was it like way too obvious to you guys?
The what now?
When they had the nuclear scientist in the hospital and the guy just said, yeah, I'll give you everything if you read my manifesto on TV. And so they call Wolf Blitzer. Like,
Yeah.
that was really obvious
Yeah.
to me that it wasn't the real Wolf
Yeah.
Blitzer and the bombs hadn't been dropped. And
I didn't predict it. It got me.
Yeah. It didn't get me, but I didn't care.
Right.
I was actually mad at the movie at that point because I was like, why wouldn't they show the nukes going off?
Yeah.
Why did we gotta hear about it through the news?
I actually saw that as a flag that
Yeah.
obviously the bombs didn't happen, but it also left me a little disappointed because I felt like that would have been a very, very cool story.
Where it's like fallout and the movie takes place in nuclear fallout.
Well,
Yeah.
like literally, like it takes place in the aftermath of a giant fail with
Right.
real consequences.
I did think that was really cool when he failed, and I was like, oh, wow. The movie's
Yeah.
about a failure?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, well, I guess it's not.
Not
Yeah.
actual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably like That's probably one of my biggest complaints about this movie is, like, I loved everything about it, and I even do appreciate the ending, from a very traditionalist point of view. But personally, I would have liked to see him fail in that moment.
Did you notice that shot? How it was framed to make it look like the nuke did go off?
Yeah, it goes to white, and then it's like all
that was
orange
definitely
on
meant
his face.
because he's looking at the sun.
Looking at the sun,
that was like
right?
a total fake. It's like,
Yeah. 'Cause it's like how many times can you do the whole, like, the last second, then you defuse the bomb and save the day happily ever after.
Well,
Yeah, I have to wonder. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that they pulled something in this sequence that I thought was almost weirdly disingenuous to the nature of this whole movie.
What's that?
Well, we have Tom Cruise pulling off all kinds of unbelievable things, like throughout the whole movie. And then the one thing that seemed like the most impossible, most difficult achievement, they did off camera.
How's that?
They cut it the last time we cut.
Oh,
away
you're talking
from
about the
Tom
key?
Cruise.
Oh,
The
yeah.
controller is up on the ledge.
It's like
with
6
the
feet above
key
him.
in it.
Yeah.
And then when we come back, it's in his mouth.
Right.
He's still where he was, meaning he did some crazy stunt where he leapt up and bit the thing, or I don't know what. All I know is that it would have been awesome to see what the heck he did there. And in this movie, we didn't see it. In this movie, we didn't see it.
I liked what they did there. I mean, the reason why I liked it is because we stuck with the characters as they just went through with faith, and I was like, that's awesome that we don't get to see, what we get to feel what they're feeling.
Right, but they could have at least done something else then to even play with that more, like
not show time.
like you
at
could
all.
have had him leap up and knock the controller, and it starts to fall over the edge, and he's reaching for it or something, and then we cut back, or
I don't know. That would seem.
It just seemed like we missed a scene. It seemed like a scene was left out of that sequence.
It didn't feel that way to me.
Yeah, I didn't really get that too much.
It bothers me a lot, guys. And I want you to know that bugs me.
That's
I when I thought he failed, it was funny because I was like, oh okay, never mind. like
See, I hate that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. The same thing with Infinity War. It's
But that's why I feel so robbed in this scene.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, he failed. No, he didn't fail. And the reveal is that the thing's magically in his mouth.
Yeah.
It's like,
Gotcha.
I wanted.
Okay.
If we're
see
going
how-
to do this head fake that no,
Right.
he didn't fail, I kind of want something more.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reveal should show something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was just nope. He got it
Yeah, in his mouth. From up there.
from 6 feet above him on a mountain.
Like he did some like seal thing. Where he leapt up and went, oh, in my mouth. Shoot my mouth.
It's in my mouth. I'm Ethan.
He threw a stone at it, knocked it off. It went spinning through the air, and as it passed him, he reached out and grabbed it with his teeth. Pulled it out.
I really like the whole gag that they were playing where he keeps saying, "I'll figure it out."
I like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
How
that
are you
a lot.
going to do that? And even,
Work in progress.
Henry Calvill's character, who's a double agent the whole time, is like, it's still his true nature to use plans and data and
Yeah.
intelligence. And he's like, shouldn't we at least? And he's like, we'll figure it out.
Right? Yeah, the character staying true to them is really cool about this. Like it seems obvious, but that's what every movie should do, and I just like seeing it done well.
I love that in the last moment, the whole helicopter chase scene, and how at that moment it is kind of when Ethan gets to full on improvise his way to figure out how to get this detonation device, and you go on this crazy journey of like that's the most insane scene.
Helicopter chase scene.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just amazing.
It's just
it's so
crazy.
great.
So I could see them though, like, okay, the antagonist has their detonator. He gets on a helicopter and flies away. Now, how is Ethan going to catch? Okay, second helicopter.
Yeah.
Your second helicopter. How's he
Comes
going
on-
to get on the second helicopter? he could just be like lugging this long rope with a bunch of rocks on the end, and later he could try to drop that on the other helicopter.
yeah.
You know?
That's just it's so
It's
crazy.
like, how do you make that even?
Well,
like, how do you shoot that?
You know what was really cool was that the whole thing felt organic. It didn't feel like it was a written scene.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a oh, this is the set piece of the
Right.
movie.
They actually were improvising.
Yeah.
Like okay, like the beginning of the third Batman movie, Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
You remember the airplane hijacking scene? So like that was like a really cool scene to see, but it's very obviously a movie set piece.
Yeah.
You know,
To
like
be all showy.
yeah, it's very showy. It's very planned out. You know, but this was just like Ethan going, okay, let's try this. Let's
Yeah.
try this, right? And it's just it looks crazy.
And you know, like, even 'cause I know you guys haven't seen all the movies, but like even just this movie on its own, you've built up enough of a knowledge of what this character does for that to not be like so hard to grasp. We're like,
Right.
what the heck?
Just this movie alone did it. Yeah, like
yeah,
you said.
which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like how do you shoot that? I feel like that must have been really
Dude,
hard to do.
the camera work in this entire place,
Yeah.
or the entire movie, I thought was just amazing.
Yeah,
it was
some
really, really good.
intricate, detailed shots
Yeah.
with insane logistics.
Yeah, they had one of my favorite shots was Ethan speeding onto the highway, onto the airplane takeoff. What was that called? Runway. He's speeding in from a car, and we see him in the background in a wide shot who's coming around, and then he comes up to the camera, and then the camera follows him backwards. Which is awesome. I
Yeah.
don't know how you do that, but it's awesome.
Yeah. Christopher McQuarrie also did, I think, the Jack Reacher movie,
Oh,
the first one with
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, which was pretty cool. It had some cool action in it also. It had the really great car chase scene in it. And then it's kind of cool to watch him go from that to the previous Mission Impossible, then to
Jeez.
this one.
Now, I love the sound in this film.
Yeah.
I know we had
Yes.
a fantastic theater,
Yeah.
but it seemed to me that the sound design itself was expertly done.
I don't know if it was the sound design or not, but I know the sounds of any impact sound had very high highs. All of like I've never heard that before in a film before, where you have everything that was about I think 8,000 hertz and up was elevated, so that when you hear a gunshot, you hear the ring.
The gunshots were like a visceral experience.
Gunshots
It
was
was
like
just
crazy.
Every
Yeah.
gunshot just made me go, ooh,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, just really,
Yeah.
they were like
Jesus.
abrasive gunshots.
There was one moment where that I can't remember her name, but she was like the assassin girl who was gonna go kill the dude.
Ilsa.
Yeah,
Yeah, Elsa. She was
Yeah.
frozen.
she was on
Ilsa.
her motorcycle,
Yeah.
and she was going extremely fast down this corridor
And then go
with and you hear that.
I like that too.
Loved
Yeah,
that.
was
Also,
rad.
That's so
no
awesome.
soundtrack during those parts.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. They let the sounds shine, and it
Yeah.
makes it a really intense experience.
It really does. Yeah, dude, the first, I mean, this is not the first time. This is probably one of the top 3 movies that I have that made car chase scenes seem really interesting.
Yeah.
And because they were so focused in what was happening. I hate car chase scenes. Most car chase scenes that have the cars coming from down the street and then the camera goes,
Yeah.
you know, or you see them from above and then you see them from below and all kinds of crazy angles and stuff. But this one stayed with them the entire time. We never cut to a wide, and when it was a tracking wide,
Yeah.
which is really.
I think
crazy.
most people who write and produce car chase scenes are heavily influenced by Los Angeles and their time there. In Los Angeles, car chase scenes come on TV. Real car chases come on TV like daily, and everyone kind of stops what they're doing and they're like, "Hey, did you see the car chase?" And it's the land of never-ending long straight freeways, and so every car chase, like the O.J. Simpson chase, it's just straight,
Yeah.
with a bunch of cops behind, and it doesn't do very much until it ends,
Right.
And the more boring car chases in movies are done that way. That's the way the car chase was done in upgrade, right? It was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
That
straight.
was super boring.
That was
and
very,
a
very
lot
car
of
chase,
movies
yeah.
do that. What if you're going to write a car chase scene? Go spend some time in Europe, because that's what made this the big one in this movie so enjoyable. Was
Yeah.
the fact that they were in Paris, where no street is straight.
Yeah.
Some are wide. Some are extremely narrow.
Yeah.
They even used a narrow street to purposely create a roadblock, which
Yeah,
I thought was
to really
awesome.
create
That was great.
You have these huge roundabouts with like 6 lanes going across. And
Yeah.
he's going the opposite direction in, you know. That's how you do a car chase.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, really, really good.
Although I never understand why it's so hard to shake the cops in a place like that. Like the way that cops keep showing up from like everywhere he turns just seems like completely impossible.
Yeah, there was some stuff in here that was like very movie, and that was one of them.
Yeah.
Another one was always turning down an alleyway because there was always alleyways everywhere. every single straightaway had an alleyway. I liked when you were talking about the cop showing up out of nowhere. When there was a part when he was in a roundabout with his motorcycle, and you have this rotating shot of him seeing every single lane around him has
Yeah.
cops
Yeah.
in it, and he just picks one.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so good. The cinematography was way better than it had any right to be.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's honestly a really beautiful looking movie.
Yeah.
Like the look of it, like this was shot on film, because there's definitely film grain
I
going
don't
on.
think it was shot on film.
Did they just stylize it?
I
like
think
that?
so. The only reason why I said it wouldn't be is because it has some low DR things, which is kind of weird because you wouldn't think, because now digital cameras have actually higher DR than film, but I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe those were purposely overexposed.
But anyway, I loved that look. Like I loved that film grain on there. It looked
Yeah.
so nice,
It
and
looked
all
really
the colors are just so nice.
Yeah,
It's really rich.
yeah, rich.
It was like gritty without being like dirty.
Hmm.
Which
That's
is
how I
cool.
felt like The Dark Knight. looked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love that kind of look
Yeah, it was good stuff.
where it's not like messy or anything, but it's still kind of got that like texture.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Texture's the right word for it.
yeah.
Really? Nothing else? I feel like you should have more problems with the film.
My only problem is that it was just maybe I wanted more than I should have,
Yeah.
but it's just a little light on story.
It blew my mind how expertly creative this was.
Yeah.
How expertly creative the action sequences were.
Everything.
Action sequences, that's all there was.
That's
Nothing
it.
else
This
was-
movie is an action sequence.
Right.
You should watch Mission Impossible 3.
Nah, I'm done.
That one has more plot to it, and Philip Seymour Hoffman is in it,
I like him.
and he's awesome. It's J.J. Abrams directed it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Uh-oh.
more plot driven. And it's good.
I don't know how nuclear
This is-
bombs work.
This is plot driven though.
But when you
What-
deactivate a nuclear bomb, would it just open up and a round ball just falls
well, that's
out?
different.
Yeah.
They said they created nukes though out of plutonium devices.
Like that was definitely a movie device.
yeah, no,
to
it definitely
visually
was.
show now the bomb's not dangerous because look, it fell out and rolled away.
And by plot driven, I mean has more story in it.
Has more story,
Yeah, it's
like a more complex story.
yeah, it's
it-
more complex, more detailed.
I could give you another qualm. This part it just it bothered me so much, and that's they're driving across the countryside on their through Kashmir on their way to this village where the bombs are.
Yeah.
And Simon Pegg is trying to figure out how to turn these bombs off, and basically says, well. Turns out that once the bombs are active, if you defuse one, the other one will go off no matter what. Once the countdown starts, you can't stop it no matter what. There's no way to stop these bombs at all. And then a few minutes later, he says, oh, guess what? There is a way to stop the bomb. There's a thing in the remote whose apparent only purpose is to be pulled out to stop the bombs. And, by the way, you can only pull it out after the countdown has started. In other words, let me help create a suspense scene. That's what we were seeing happen there. He's like, let's make the rules to a suspense scene here. Okay. We have these bombs.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Here's a way that we can defuse it, but that's going to go with the bad guy way across the other land, and you can't take it out until the timers begin.
You're totally right.
Just that it was
It's very artificial.
You can have those rules,
Yeah, yeah.
that's okay, but the fact that they all came out of one character's mouth at one time it just felt like that's ridiculous.
So I'll tell you why that didn't bother me, and I did feel it was super artificial. You're completely right about that. The opening scene in here, I believe it was the opening scene when he opened his projector thing.
Yeah.
I automatically that told me what I needed to know about the movie, that it doesn't take itself that seriously.
Right. Yeah.
So
That and the opening credits.
And the
it's
opening
like
credits.
those two combined was
Right.
like, okay, this is practically a comic book.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was along for the ride, and so when they started doing the nuke stuff, I was like, okay, obviously the nukes aren't going to go off because all the important characters are right next to the nuke, and so if it goes off, then that's the end of the series.
Right.
Like, so I get it. So I kept asking myself in the theater, like I was really weirded out that I was still connected to the movie even though I didn't care about the stakes.
Did you? So you didn't buy in at all to the
I
idea?
know, like I knew they were going to save the day
'Cause
and everything.
I allowed for a little bit of that to just seep in.
Yeah.
I kind of believed, yeah, you know what? Because Ethan Hunt is way over there.
Yeah.
Maybe they would go that far.
I was thinking that too.
Blow up all these guys.
Yeah.
And the next time they make a movie, it's a fresh start, and he has to live with the consequences of his failure.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. It didn't bother me for some reason. I can't say why. I maybe because I was so connected with how they pulled off the action scenes, and so while I'm watching like them fight on the top with the helicopter hanging by a thread, and I was like, this is just so cool. I'm just into it.
Right, and that's why I'm underwhelmed by the movie, because
Yeah.
it was just cool.
Yeah.
It's like going to a magic show,
Right.
right? But it's like going to a magic show when someone told you were going to see a play.
Did someone tell you we're going to see a play?
I was told we were going to see a movie.
Because this isn't a movie.
This isn't a movie.
It's not a movie.
Yeah, it's not a movie.
It was a magic show.
Have you haven't
There's
seen
one trick, and then another trick, and then a bigger trick, and
You
then
haven't
the
seen
best
Crank,
trick
have you?
at the end, and then it's over. Huh?
You haven't seen Crank, have you? Now that allows for zero downtime. That's this.
Like, and I'm not saying I didn't like the movie. Like I'd watch it again.
Yeah.
I thought it's a fun time at the theater. And whenever I say that about a movie, it means it's not that good. It's just okay.
Right.
And that's how I felt about it. It's a fun time at the theater. And don't let me diminish it too much. It is exactly what they sought out to do.
Mhm.
And they pulled off those action sequences at a level that I've yet to see in anything else.
Right.
High
Yeah.
props for all that.
Yeah, I think you wanted more engagement with the characters. Is what you wanted.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. It was and maybe that's the fault of me not seeing the previous movies, but there just wasn't there wasn't enough development, for me to care very much about
Right.
who was who and what's going on.
This is probably why I hold Mad Max Fury Road as like one of the best films I've ever seen.
Because that one did emotionally develop
Because it
characters
did
and
both.
was still crazy action packed.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's
Right.
because I'm so
Yeah.
engaged in action that when it has a bonus of having the characters also be super strong,
Yeah.
then
You're
it's-
engaged, like you get attached to several characters in that film,
Right.
not just the
Right.
leads.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mad Max Fury Road is like
It's a-
top 3 best action movies ever
Yeah,
made.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
And that's got to be a huge challenge. I can't think of many films that pull it off that well, where you have a film that's so jam packed with action and yet you can still take the time to
Right.
develop empathy.
Yeah, when they did do their quote character development scenes, I hate saying that because it's not true, but character development scenes, as most people will call them, when you stop the action, when they did that, it did completely halted the momentum of the movie.
It didn't seem like they really developed either. It
That's-
was
yeah.
more like
Well, that's it.
It was more like, remember the last movie when we developed our characters?
Right.
It says, this is how we
Yeah.
developed characters last
Yeah.
time we
Yeah,
met.
but I mean, like, it's like if you're 6 movies in, you can continue to develop characters, but it's like it's going to be different.
It's going to be
Yeah,
different, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know,
I mean, like Toy Story 3.
a great example is, I was going to go Pixar 2. I was going to say
Yeah.
Incredibles 2.
Right.
You know, they totally developed every character anew, even
Yeah.
though almost everyone in the
Yeah,
theater
they-
knew them well.
They evolved the characters
Yeah.
into
Right.
into a deeper, more
deeper
complex.
understanding.
Yeah, in fact, I think in Toy Story 2 you get more empathy
Yeah.
for the characters.
Yeah. I would say that Mission Impossible, the series, does that for the first few, and then gets to a point where they kind of say like, all right, we've done that much. Now we're just gonna run with it and do these crazy action scenes and have this just relatively generic plot kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I always look at them now. Except for the fourth one's fantastic.
The plot, it's weird because you can have a pretty generic plot and still be a really interesting film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredibles 2 had a generic plot.
That's true. Yeah. Well, Incredibles 2 has also really, 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 really developed characters.
Yeah.
Characters that are very strong. And I think that does save the movie sometimes. But whereas this one, Fallout, had really, really, really interesting, strong plot points. Like there's 0 Marvel film that could do anything that this did. Infinity War comes close, and that's it. I never felt like the bad guys in any Marvel film were as bad as Henry Cavill, here or
Yeah.
Henry Cavill.
And that's kind of
Not
funny
Henry
that you
Cavill.
say that.
Who's Henry Cavill?
Henry Cowell.
I don't think he's a guy.
You're
That-
related to Simon Cowell.
Simon Cowell. That's who I'm thinking of. That's funny.
Henry Cavill.
Simon Pegg, Henry Cowell.
His
They have a
name was
child.
August.
Oh, really?
The character
And
is named
character
August
was
Walker.
That's interesting.
Oh, they called
only
him Walker.
called him Walker the whole
Yeah.
time, but his first name is August.
August.
That'd be weird.
So he's gonna come back as a supervillain. That's what me and Dee were saying.
Yeah, he definitely is.
all burned up.
Yeah.
because the side of his face melted. From,
He's gonna have robot legs.
Yeah, except
Yeah,
'cause you
lightsaber.
see his body hit the ground and there's like blood and stuff with it. So it's like, oh, it's probably not gonna come back, but maybe.
and there's a big explosion.
Yeah.
That was also a very,
There
very.
were a lot of things I predicted in this movie, and I think that's maybe what bothered me so much.
I don't. You have a lot of problems with predictions. Same with Amy. My wife has a lot of problems with predicting. Things.
Yeah, I
And-
don't like seeing what's coming before it happens.
And for me, I really don't have a problem with that. It's really interesting, and it never gets in the way of the story for me.
I think I'm just so delighted. I don't know. To me, it's not. It's hardly a story if I've already walked the path. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you want to be led down a new path,
Right.
and discover something, and it's not as interesting if you can anticipate what's around the corner.
That's true. I guess I kind of like.
So the
term.
3 instances for that with me was 1, the whole Wolf Blitzer reveal thing.
Yeah.
2, the double cross moment where they had the old switcheroo where Simon Pegg was actually the one in the chair, not the one that walked away. Like as soon as he started monologuing, I was like, oh, he's actually the one. I know what's happening here, because why are you monologuing to your boss? Right? You wouldn't monologue to your bad guy who knows more about the plot than you do.
I mean, I could say any of these things. Like for that, for example, I felt like he was that kind of character.
And the other one was, I don't know. Still. Anytime there's a monologue to someone who already knows the information you're about to say, it means there's something here that is being set up.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I think that's a taste thing. I think.
Yeah, maybe so, but I mean, the whole point of pulling a mask off of someone is to surprise you and make you
Yeah.
go, whoa, it's not what I thought.
Yeah.
So if you can predict it,
Or at
then I
least to
think that didn't work.
To reveal something. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. The other one was the the hook on the tow cable coming down and grabbing him on the head and pulling him off the cliff.
Yeah.
As he was hanging there, and I'm like, I know how I would kill him. I said, that thing's got to come down, snag him in the head, and rip him off the cliff.
Yeah.
And then it happened, and I went, oh, now I kind of wish it didn't happen that way.
Again, that's something that I thought that I saw happening, and I was like, oh, that's because the shot kept going from him back to the hook, and I was like, oh, it's gonna hit him in the face, and it did, and I was like, cool.
But to me, my favorite storytellers are when I have a thought like that, right?
Yeah.
And if it were my ideal movie experience, I would have that thought, and I would say, oh, you know what I bet's going to happen? That hook's going to come off and snag his head and pull him off the cliff. But then what actually happens is the hook, like, lacerates his throat and his head falls off and his body falls another way. And then I would have been like, whoa!
So Star Wars Episode 8
Totally different.
is something that you
That's
would
why Star Wars Episode 8 is a masterpiece. So subvertive. It just subverts all my expectations. Here I thought he was going to zig.
and instead,
And he zagged.
it didn't even zag. It just went straight.
I thought he was going to zig, and he just sort of... He didn't really go anywhere.
Kept going.
Just stayed there.
I never try to predict films when I'm watching them. I always try and stay in a present
not-
moment.
But it's not a.
I can't turn it
You're
off.
right. That's the
you
thing.
know?
Is I've
It's
noticed.
like how I walk through life. You know, it's,
I've noticed when you say that you try not to, it's something that it just happens. Like for me and Kenny.
Yeah.
And I think the way we view it, I think is a little bit different. But yeah, that must be nice.
It's very nice. It makes movies like these extremely enjoyable.
good for you. So you're saying you're able to turn your brain off.
Yeah, I turn my brain off.
Nice.
That's how I approach all films, actually. I
off
went and
your
saw, what's that movie? Citizen Kane. Turned my
Turn
brain
your brain
off.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I actually get lobotomized before I go to the cinema. They repair it afterwards, but
Right.
I'm like, I really want to enjoy this movie, and I was told that it's sort of fluff. So just carve out a chunk of the frontal lobe, and I'm sure it'll be great.
The,
be fine.
the difference is turning your brain off is ignoring glaring plot holes.
that makes the story fall apart.
That
and
makes the story
that's
fall apart.
inexcusable.
Right.
Yeah.
That's an excuse. That and
What I
that's-
mean is,
that's the
I'm-
Star Wars Last
Right.
Jedi.
yeah,
Right.
I'm thinking about the current scene. I'm just not trying to anticipate what's going to come next.
Or your brain isn't automatically anticipating.
I'm not instantly going, how is this going to connect later? I'm thinking, oh, he's telling me this right now.
Right.
That's how
Whereas Kenny is looking at it and being like, these thoughts just come in. Right?
Yeah, it's just a natural thing.
Right.
You know, I mean,
It's the ninja
it
inside
might,
of me.
It might
is.
be.
It's the
you
spider
know,
sense.
I'm going
Yeah.
to go out on a limb here. Most people are different from each other.
What you're saying,
Why
we all have like unique brains?
Well, I mean, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go that far.
Why-
Everyone has a different.
Why are you
kinda-
saying this?
Why?
He's
yeah.
pointing out that
Are you trying to?
we're different.
You're not one of us. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just. Well, I mean, it might
You
not
don't
even
have
be
a carbon
true.
line brain?
It might not even be true. It's just. I mean, it was a speculation.
He doesn't like us.
It was a story. I'm lying. I'm just writing a story that everybody might
Kenny,
be
I don't
different.
think he belongs here.
He's not on board. Get out. Sorry, that was rude.
Wait a second.
That
You
was
guys
rude.
are each drinking yerba mate. I'm drinking Air's.
Oh,
Dude, you've betrayed our
you're
sponsor.
not. You're not one of us. Get out.
Get out.
Get out.
Get out, B.
Wait, but
Wait a
Kenny
minute.
didn't.
You guys are wearing T-shirts, and I'm.
get out.
I don't belong here.
Get out, Kenny.
Can I raise another question?
Sure.
Let's
raise your
talk
can.
about Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
I noticed he ran in this movie. Did you guys catch that?
No
Holy
way.
cow! Not only did he run, he like inspired me to run. I was like, I can't do that
Dude, I laugh every time that I see him run.
because he looks like a robot. He
No,
does look a little
well,
like
yeah,
a
he does,
robot.
but I
He does
mean-
this-
Trying so
he does this
hard.
thing with his
That's
straight-
it.
Yeah.
Because he's trying really, really hard. Yeah.
His arms are moving as fast
and
as
I'm
his
just like,
legs.
this is dumb.
No,
There was
dude,
one
that
guy-
man is 56,
Yeah.
And
I'm not saying I don't respect
he's
it.
amazing.
I'm saying it's stupid.
and I know he is like really weird and maybe an extraterrestrial, but I am so impressed.
yeah.
And like it really makes me like dude, I'm on the wrong track in life, because I'm half his age, just about, well, a little more than half his age, but much younger.
Yeah.
And I'm probably 8 inches taller, and I am certain that he could wreck me.
Dude, when I was Taylor's age, holy crap. when I was Taylor's age. I couldn't do that. I couldn't. I'm not sure Taylor could.
Couldn't even
No, I
run for
couldn't.
the length of that scene.
Right. Yeah, for the
Real
length of
time.
that scene, yeah.
My cardio is not very good right now.
Dude, they had tracking shots dedicated to his running. Like,
Yeah.
like
Fast.
only, yeah, like motivated
Well, that-
by his moving.
That
That was silly.
that's another little thing I'm not crazy about the Mission Impossible thing is that it's kind of like the Tom Cruise show, and it's like, what will we do to Tom Cruise in this movie?
See, now that's why I really liked Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow was pretty cool.
No, it wasn't. The bad movie.
I wouldn't say it's a
I
bad
thought it was
movie.
pretty good.
I liked it.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
I
guys are
didn't hate
wrong. Say bad movie.
I think it's overrated.
No, underrated for horribleness.
But you said you hated Edge of Tomorrow.
Did you say Day After Tomorrow or Edge of Tomorrow?
Edge of Tomorrow?
Okay, see, I love Edge of Tomorrow. That's
Oh
different.
my
Are you serious?
gosh.
Yeah.
You thought we were talking about Day After Tomorrow? We were talking about Tom Cruise movies. No one liked Day After Tomorrow.
That's why I was like so confused. No, because I know that movie by Live, Die, Repeat.
Yes.
Because that's what it's called.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow.
Okay, so reset your brains for a second. Pretend that didn't happen.
We were ready to fight you.
Yeah, we were like, what the hell?
No, Edge of Tomorrow was freaking fantastic, and the reason
It's
why
overrated.
It's not fantastic. It's okay. See, now we're back at
Now we're-
back at
now we're
odds, but
arguing.
the table has turned. I'm not gonna let you say it's that good, D.
it's really good.
no,
It's,
no, no.
it's a good movie.
It's okay.
pretty good.
It's fun. It was entertaining if you turn your brain off.
11 out of 10.
Turn your brain.
If you turn your brain off.
Yeah.
Actually, that
Yeah.
kind of need to.
Yeah, I took an ice pick up through the eye, and I enjoyed it.
So in Edge of Tomorrow, it's like a Mission Impossible movie in the fact that we're
Camera,
focusing.
restart.
It's like Mission Impossible in the fact that we're focusing on Tom Cruise's character and that it's all about this guy and it's all about him, not just him as a main character, but it's like it's the Tom Cruise show, like you said. And Edge of Tomorrow takes that and just flips it so that it's like, yeah, it's all about this guy, but look how fucked up it is, right? And it keeps making him die and die and die, and I love that about it. That's
You
why.
just liked watching Tom Cruise die 25 times.
I mean, who doesn't? Yeah,
Well,
you know.
yeah, maybe.
I love Tom Cruise in movies. He's
No,
in,
just as a person, like you're
as
in love
he's
with
like
Tom
he's in
Cruise.
his, I am actually romantically involved
Right.
with Tom Cruise.
Right.
And I am jealous. I'll be the first to say. Because, let's be honest, that man was made by God. Like, carved out of the marble of deity.
I don't think we've ever gone a full theatrical episode of Talkies without Kenny making some sort of sexual remark about men.
There's nothing sexual about that. There's nothing sexual about pointing out.
He's just sexually
that
attracted to Tom
that
Cruise.
Tom
That's
Cruise
fine.
is extremely
I mean, romantically.
sexy.
Romantically.
He's just pointing at, like,
There's nothing sexual about
acknowledging someone's sexiness is not sexual.
Was it Henry
that's pretty
Cavill
gay.
when he was Superman?
Dude, Henry Cavill in Justice League,
Yeah.
abs. Holy cow, that guy's been doing ab work.
What's his
Oh
name?
wait, I know why Kenny is slightly underwhelmed by this.
No shirtless scene.
No
Oh,
shirtless.
no
scene.
There were
shirtless
no
scene.
shirtless
No
scenes.
shirtless
And I
scene.
gotta say, I was a little surprised.
See, that makes sense.
We had Henry and Tom in there. We had Vic Rames. Could have had Vic Rames.
Simon Pegg?
Simon
Pegg.
Simon Pegg and Vic Rames topless together. Now that's
That's hot.
I'd get to movies early for that one.
Turn your brain off for that one if you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean.
What do I mean?
I don't know.
What do you mean? Look, I'm just very impressed by a chiseled physique because I know how hard it is to get that. Like,
Yeah.
it's really, really hard
Right.
to have a crazy six-pack like that.
Right.
You know?
That's fine. I mean, you like.
And maybe my body temperature goes up a little. Maybe.
So
There's-
what? Just a coincidence.
What's
right?
wrong with that?
Just a
There's
coincidence.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I cry during, action scenes. So.
And yeah. And that. You're sexually aroused by action sequences.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's just a true thing.
Huh.
It's just a true thing.
Yeah, that's why I like this movie so much.
Yep.
You were sexually attracted
you're
to the
just
movie,
like,
right?
Wow. That helicopter.
Dude.
Oh.
I just want to talk about our theater experience. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, great theater.
Except for we were a little bit too close.
We were at a
Little
studio
too
movie grill. I gotta say, I was a little disappointed that the front section does not have recliners.
Yeah, the back section
The
does.
fact that it didn't recline was sort of a letdown. But,
Yeah.
Other than that, the image and sound was astounding.
Not only that, but like
Markedly better than what we've got.
Yeah,
at the
kinda
other
weird.
Cinemark.
Yeah.
The people who were watching the movie with, everyone was on point with every reaction. Like as soon as something didn't work out, they're like, and then it comes out,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah.
Yeah. And some of like the gags that they laughed at, I was almost like, really?
Yeah.
You're gonna merit that with that much laughter?
Like this audience was like picked out by people who made the movie.
Yeah, they were like, all of them had an uncle who worked on this movie or
Right.
something because they were like way too potty.
They were really into it.
Because like Vic Rames has like a moment where he goes, "That's my boy," and then everyone goes,
The audience, the mind.
"Funniest thing ever."
Same old Ethan.
Everyone goes
riot.
spasms.
That was pretty.
The sun shot at the end.
The people were in tears. Like
In
when it
tears.
went to white, everyone was.
Yeah. There was one guy that died. Two of
Yeah.
them got married
They two of them got married in the
theater.
Yeah, they
Like,
fell
they
in
fell
love
in love
and
during-
got married
They
in the midst of this screening.
Right,
It
that's
was
pretty good.
transcendent.
It was a very special screening, to say the least.
Yeah, 3 babies were born.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I delivered one.
Two of them were made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like conceived, born, and raised during the film.
I might have had one of those. That's how transcendent the movie was.
That's how wonderful a theater experience it was.
Kenny had a baby.
I had a baby. Yeah, I full on like gender swapped, got pregnant, had a baby,
Wow.
raised it, sent it to college, and have moved on.
It's grown up.
I let go.
Grown up.
It was
lived
hard.
Life, died.
I wept. It was sad saying goodbye, but life. That is the nature of life.
Is that why you're crying during
Everything
the
ends.
nuke scene?
Everything must come to an end. No, the kid was gone like by the second act.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
pretty quick.
Yeah, they grow up fast.
Yeah.
They grow up fast.
Time flies.
Pizza. What kind of pizza is this movie?
Holy crap. I don't know. Kenny.
I would say this is a pizza that's been cut into slices.
Wow.
All right, so
Okay,
imagine,
Taylor, what do you
kind
think?
of slices?
imagine a
What kind of
circular,
slices?
a circular pizza.
Circular
cut into
slices?
slices, right?
When
Let's
you say that, I imagine diced.
Diced pizza.
yeah, like little tiny pieces. This huge knife going.
So traditionally sliced.
Yeah,
Okay.
wedge shape, right? I'd say there's 12 slices.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
And going around the pizza, each slice, the next slice is better than the previous one, right? So if you eat your way around the pizza, you'll never get bored. Like the next slice is always better than the last one. And you finish it and you're like, could anything have made this pizza better? And you look around and you notice you're alone and lonely and sad. And you go, yeah, some human connection. That's what would have made it better. I have no life. That's why I'm sad.
Wow.
And
That
this
is sad.
amazing pizza isn't enough to fulfill
I
that.
can't share this moment with anyone.
Exactly.
For me, this was a pizza when you're walking down the street in New York City, and there's Tony's Pizzeria
Yes.
on there, and you go in there and they have like perfect by the slice pepperoni pizza that's like the slice is like it's like that big, and you get like Parmesan cheese and the pepper flakes on it, and it's just amazing. And you get that paper plate that's like really flimsy, and it's like has a hole in it because the grease,
grease
is
see-through?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you eat the whole thing, and you're like, wow, that was amazing. And then you get up from the park that you're at across the street, and you go back to Tony's, and you get another one. Because I think I'm going to go see this movie again. And it was just really good. It was
What up?
delicious. Yeah.
Not with Movie Pass, though. You know what I'm saying?
I know
Peak
what
pricing.
you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
You're going to have to pay for that
Yes,
one. Sucks to be you.
No,
This
geez.
movie
Alright.
was a pizza that you go to a restaurant to go get, and you've never been to the restaurant before. And you're like, they have pizza, might as well get it, and you have some. and you're just like, okay, well, this is
Might as
pizza,
well.
and you eat it, and it's like pepperoni pizza, and you're like, wow, there's something interesting about this pizza, and it's like the sauce has like a zestiness to it, and you eat it more, and you're like, oh, there's crispy bits on the the pepperonis, like they just slightly burnt, where it's like nice and crunchy, and then you eat it more, and you're like, man, there's like you're starting to notice all the details, like the grease is just enough, and like it fits in your hand really nicely, and then you eat the whole slice, and you figure out that everyone else ate the rest of the pizza, so you can't have any more. But
Damn.
I liked that
That's
slice.
sad.
Yeah, because MoviePass bought it.
Oh. And it makes you want to go back and eat the other 5?
Right. The other 5?
The other 5 pizzas.
Oh, right.
They have a whole
Because they have it in
menu.
succession, right?
Yeah, they're like you can the pizza that preceded this one.
You have to eat the one before to
the-
eat the new one.
To eat the new one.
the prequel
To
to
really,
this pizza.
to really appreciate this pizza, you should have tried the other one.
Then yeah.
Was the other one better? No, and it's I mean it's a little bit worse, but if you appreciate
You
this
need
one,
to- yeah, it's still needed.
All right, I think we're done here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was Mission Impossible Fallout. Thank you for bearing with us through all that madness. I think overall we think this is a good movie. You should watch it.
Hey,
Absolutely.
if you think this is a good movie, you should see some of the other movies that we watch,
Yeah.
the short ones, on Short Film Roundup.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We have a subreddit called r/Carman Line Studios. Carman is spelled Karman.
Carman.
Carman.
With a K.
Go there, check out all the fun stuff we have. We submit or we let you guys submit your own short films to us, and we watch them and we talk about them just like we did with this one.
Yeah. There's all sorts of fun activities to do there.
Alright, so you can talk to the film.
Yep.
You can talk to the filmmakers. We had one guy who was the assistant prop manager from
Master.
from Sorry to Bother You.
Prop master.
Prop master. I keep saying manager. Assistant prop master for Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah.
Told us some cool stories.
Yeah.
It was really
It's
interesting.
really cool.
Yeah, and you can submit your films for us to review here on the show. You can communicate with the other people that have submitted films to our show.
It's a lot of fun.
And it is a lot of fun. And be sure to catch our episodes of Short Film Roundup every Thursday.
Sure.
Yep. And our
And
traditional
sometimes when we
Talkies
decide
episode
not
every
to.
Monday. Except for when we forget to post it on time.
Right. Then it's Friday.
There's
Usually
that too.
Thursday.
Usually
and
Thursdays.
Mondays.
Thursdays and Mondays.
All right. Well, that about does it. So until next time, I'm Kenny.
I'm D. Wait. I'm D. I'm D.
Oh yeah, I'm Taylor.
Yeah.
And
Rock.
we'll see you at the Talkies. Dun 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 dun.